Shalom Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Coming back again. This is kind of bizarre right now. I did take our last broadcast, I did move it over to private. Now, this is the Middle East Eye, very reputable news source there, as well as Al Jazera are reporting that the Israelis struck an airfield near Aleppo. We just reported this to you guys just moments ago, as you all well know. And they're saying that, of course, there were several killed, including officers of the Iranian Guard, only to find out that now Russia has released this broadcast, or this, not a broadcast, but their actual article right here. In Russian, it is actually stating here that this is a rumor. If you go down and you read the article, which unfortunately I cannot translate this one here for you, it doesn't give me the option to do that. But this article is actually stating to us here that it was actually an IED strike on an Iranian base there inside of Syria. Very troubling indeed. And I moved the video mainly because I don't want to be spreading something that is not true. But when you got somebody like the Middle East Eye, Al Jazeera reporting it, you kind of think that it's actually more legitimate. If it turns out that the Russian source here, which happens to be wh24.ru, is incorrect, we will bring that video back up online. But we don't want to be spreading something that is not actually happening there. But they're saying here in the article here that it was actually an IED. I'll tell you what I can do. Let me just I'll jump into Google Translate for you guys, just so you can see this portion of the of what it says here. It says, as the rumors developed, even reports of 4 Israeli air raids appeared. However, these reports cannot be confirmed by any reliable source or evidence. According to local sources, the explosion in Jebel Azan was the result of a detonation of IED reserves in the area. These IEDs were removed from Aleppo and this country after the city was liberated from the militants by the Syrian army in 2016. Representatives of Hezbollah in Syria also condemned the reports of alleged Syrian air raids in the area. The history of Israeli airstrikes in Aleppo is an example of how rumors can spread in the media. All right, so it is appearing that it may be a rumor. So I didn't want to waste time. I said to you guys many times before, if we're wrong on something, we're going to make it right. I'm not interested in fabrications or anything like that. There is something, though, one of our contributors on the last video did place in the comment section that I did want to share with you. Now, this is a video from 2012. This is Rabbi Berlin. In his comments here in the Hebrew language in Israel are stunningly shocking, because most people that are on alternative media are so quick to just jump up and say, Israelis support the war in Syria. Let me let you listen to Rabbi Berlin and what he had to say here. And I really want to thank you, brother, sister, whichever one it was. I don't even remember now the name that was shared this. You'll see I'd actually approved it in the comments. They shared this particular video with me. And in fact, by the way, Rabbi Berlin and the chief Sephardic rabbi of Israel are calling for an end to the carnage that is happening in Syria. But watch what he says here. Let's just play a section of this for you guys. The Talmud teaches us that we need to do acts of kindness to Arabs. It does not matter what kind of Arab it is. Other than a terrorist, we need to help and assist every single Arab in every way possible, with money, with encouragement, in every way possible, even to split the sea for him. All the more so when we see the horrible massacre that is happening. 2 hours from here in Syria, right under our noses. And the entire world is silent. This past Thursday, 170 children were killed. 2 days ago, 107 children. Every day they're slaughtering right under our noses. What have we come to? What kind of merciless world have we come to? The nations of the world are silent. And we, the Israelite nation, the nation of justice, nation of conscience, nation of fairness, the Israelite nation is the conscience of the entire world. Now, the problem is, I have to do a little bit more research on Rabbi Berlin to see what his actual stance is on this here, is that the acts that are being done in Syria are being supported by the US, the UK, France, and unfortunately, even those in the Israeli government supporting Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra. And as Livni said, no, they will not support or help humanitarianly Syrian soldiers that have been injured in the fight. So I need to do a little bit more research on Rabbi Berlin and what his point is. Is he more looking at what, blaming this on the Syrian government, or is he actually speaking about a humanitarian side of this? But anyway, I still thought it was very interesting that he seemed to have a love for the Arabs. He is very old now. As of course, this has been 6 years ago. He's aged very rapidly since then. His brother has passed away recently. So, but anyway, Israel should be a light to the world. But unfortunately, we're not a light to the world right now. The only way that Israel will be truly a light to the world is when their eyes are opened and they recognize who the Mashiach really was. And that will happen. Actually, we are at the precipice of that happening right now as we enter into this possible conflict. Or as this conflict escalates, as we begin to see Matthew 24 unfold and that beginning of sorrows happens, this is when that gospel will be taken to all the world. That's when the end will come. So it is right after this escalation of war in the Middle East is when all this will begin to happen. Anyway, again, I do apologize. When the Middle East Eye had reported this situation in Syria there, Middle East Eye is pretty much on top of things, and Middle East Eye is not normally reporting hearsay either. They normally are reporting pretty accurately of what's happening in Israel there. And we had other sources as well that was already saying that, yes, that the Israelis had conducted the airstrikes there. Who knows? Maybe it could turn around and still be the case that Israel did do strikes there. Al Jazera is saying that there was a plane unconfirmed shot down during this assault, but according to Russian news right now, saying just the opposite, that this is a rumor, that it is not, indeed did not happen. So we did want to just take and get that clarification out to you guys as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later this evening. Shalom.